r/askreddit, do you consider hitting a child to punish them abusive? Why not? My mom hit me once when I was about 7. I was about to put my hand into a boiling vat of chemicals. She hit me with the water hose so hard that it left a huge mark on my leg. Much better than basically melting my hand and being disabled. I think there is a time and place for everything. She later said she was sorry but was so concerned that she could not think. Why was a 7-year-old around a boiling vat of chemicals lol? Yes, definitely it can have very bad side effects on child's mental health. 100% against. I can't imagine what would go through a parent's head to hit someone who is half their size and hasn't fully developed or learned rules. Even older kids, the incentive that hitting creates is bad. Kids who get hit, hide the activity. I'd rather my kids be able to be open about what they're doing than hide it from me. When my offspring start to act unruly, I just pick them up by my beak and toss them out of the nest. I have 2 other, stronger offspring that I need to care for, and finding food in these trying times can really make a struggling stork do crazy things. Yes, if hitting your wife is abuse, hitting your kids is abuse. Pain compliance. And amp, #X200B. What am I, a cop? Here's your badge, pistol, assault rifle, shotgun, grenades, tank, and helpful color chart so you know which minorities you can freely abuse this week. Stop hitting your kids. Agreed, hit other people's kids instead. Mom used to hit me as a kid, hands, ass, cheek, you name it. I would like to think it was abuse and not parenting she had to stop because it wasn't working. Me specifically, or in general. My mom hit me twice, and I'll remember this all my life. She was a good mom, those were weak moments for her. But I'll always remember. Don't hit your kids. Obviously. If your kid is too young to be reasoned with, they won't understand why they're being hit. If they are old enough to be reasoned with, then reason with them. There's never an excuse for hitting your kids. Yep, exactly, when they are older hitting definitely will not work anymore. Yes. It's not our prerogative to hit a child. We don't own our children. We're there to guide and support our children until they are old enough to make responsible life choices. Hitting a child isn't anything to do with punishment, it's to release our own frustration of a choice they've made that we disagree with. I feel that striking a child as a matter of corporal punishment to be counterproductive. With that said, I do not believe that all forms of physical intervention are cruel or unjust. If a child were to reach for a venomous plant, would it be imprudent to whip the hand and to allow them to touch and die or require serious medical intervention? My grandparents used to. I'd be closed fist punched in the face and pushed down. I don't hold a grudge though. I was a pretty shitty kid lol. I won't do that to my child though. It would make her cry. And when she cries it makes me really sad. When she got shots as a baby I teared up when she cried. I'm a sensitive 6 feet 200 pounds guy I guess lol. You really can't blame yourself. Shitty kids are born out of guardians that punch them in the face, not the other way around. Congrats on breaking the cycle. Abusive or not, it's ineffective and has lasting negative effects on the child. Physically harming someone to control their behavior is like the absolute most basic definition of abuse. Well, at least yours stopped when they noticed it didn't work. Mine just thought they weren't doing it often enough apparently. If you resort to violence to discipline a child, it means your parenting skills are lacking. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out if your child is acting up, it's probably because you're doing a bad job raising them. Yes, it is abuse in every single situation to hit your child. I never did historically, as I grew up receiving the occasional wooden spoon at the hands of my European grandparents and don't have any residual trauma. However, I was having a conversation with a colleague who advised, physically punishing children teaches them 1, it's acceptable to hit, and 2, it's acceptable to be hit. That completely changed my perspective moving forward. Yes. Teach your children better ways of dealing with anger and disappointment than using violence. It is never okay to hit a child. Hitting a child in a context where they're being dangerous or like tugging them violently from moving traffic, shouting at them to protect them or alert them, that's acceptable to me. The abusive context comes in when you're punishing a child for them making a mistake, for no reason, but to threaten them through a power dynamic, to discontinue behavior that is as easily corrected by grounding, timeout, or even talking it out. I get what you're saying, but I was referring to hitting an adult as punishment in the same way a parent would hit a child as punishment. You're right, definitely depends on the situation. I don't spank my kids. They take a minor scolding hard enough that I can't imagine why it would be necessary. It's obviously abuse, like, how can you say that hitting a child is okay but hitting someone else isn't? No, I maybe hit my daughter a few times before using other means of correcting though. Usually just explaining what she did wrong is sufficient. When she was about 2 I was carrying her, she decided to bite me in the shoulder. Startled and a little shocked I smacked her on the back of her head. There was no other way to stop her fast at that moment. And I am only human. She is 14 now, so I just cut the Wi-Fi if needed. Biting back worked on all my kids. We're still just animals. I think hitting your kid is only okay if it's an emergency response to trying to save your kid from something dangerous. Anything else is either lazy parenting or, in more extreme cases, abuse. Yes, because causing pain as punishment is abusive. All the research we have shows it's a shitty way to discipline your child. I think in our modern times, hand-holding is the worst and wrongest punishment. The child will be intimidated and insecure in the future, and you will become a cruel person to him. I think that it is better to explain to your child in words that he/she has done wrong, and also to behave the way you want your child to behave, because children take an example from adults, but first of all from parents. Depends on context. Don't consider it to be abuse, it factually is. If I see you hitting your kid in public you will learn a quick lesson. Haha, what lesson? You gonna go beat the parents? /r/I am Barbados. You are correct here. Don't waste time thinking of a better option in a do or die kind of emergency. But that's not what people mean. My mom got told by her friend's mom. Grab him by the short hair behind his ears. That will make him listen. From then on, anytime my mom got upset at me, she grabbed those short hairs. To this day as a grown adult, when I get increased anxiety, I have a compulsion to put my hands over my head behind my ears. Don't hurt your kids, people. Same. And they wonder why I have problems with them touching/hugging me. Well, if you hit an adult as punishment it's assault. Why is it different for children? When I spank an adult as punishment, she says, "Thank you, master, may I have another," and wiggles her rear at me. So, I think the adult one depends on the situation.